Well, the word for today is just hanging out. I don't really have a whole lot to share with you guys this morning other than what I've been working on. This morning I did go back to the Ford factory website and started working again on the factory order of the new Transit van, but it's so very confusing. There's so many options available. I think I'm going to take a different approach. Let me just give you an example. This morning I was looking at moving a little bit forward in the options, and I got to this place over here. I got to this place where it was, well, where's my photo? For example, I was going to this option about the rear axle ratio, and it gives you like three options here for the rear axle ratio: 3.73 limited, 3.73 non-limited, 410 limited. Gives you those three options. Now, how am I supposed to know what the hell all that means? You know, I'm not a mechanic. I don't know what that stuff is referring to. So I went into Mr. G, and I asked Mr. G to explain it to me. And so I did get an explanation of what all of that meant. And then there was this idea of getting dual alternators. Do I want dual alternators? Do I need dual alternators? Do I need an extra battery? I can order two batteries. And then, of course, Ford offers this RV package, which has all a bunch of junk in it. And really, what Mr. G told me was the main thing I would want out of that RV package is the towing capacity and some of the other little wiring that's included. You get a special wiring package that makes it easier to do the wiring when you build the van out with the battery connections and all. But the bottom line is I didn't need it. I didn't want that RV package, not for $1,950 as an option. So the bottom line here is what I'm thinking is the best way to order one of these factory vans is just to have nothing. Just strip it down. Just give me the bare basics. And I think what I'm going to do, I've got two van builders I'm looking at, one in Utah and one in Arizona. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send them an email. And I'm going to say, look, I want to buy this new Ford Transit van from the factory. Tell me what I need to order. Tell me, are there any options that I need to include to make your job easier? I'm going to go from the other end. I'm going to go from the van builders end and let them tell me what kind of factory van I need to order, because they'll be more knowledgeable and better prepared to tell me what I need to include when I order the van from the factory. Now, I know these builders will also include the purchase of the van in the whole package deal that you work with them. They'll order the van and work with the Ford dealer and get the van delivered to them directly, and they handle the whole thing. That may be the other option. But I'm just wondering what your opinion is. Should I trust the van builder to order the van from the factory themselves? Will there be a price issue here? Will I be able to save some money and perhaps get the van cheaper if I order it myself? And I guess what I'm asking is, do you think the van builder will try to fluff up the price on the purchase of the van from the factory in order to give them a little bit more profit? Will they add, $2,000 or $3,000 to the purchase of the van under some sort of fee or some sort of, I don't know. What do you think? Seems like to me, if I order the van myself, I might get a better price. At least I'll know I'm getting the price that I have to pay. I'm cutting the van builder out as a part of the van purchase. And then I'll have the van delivered to me here in Texas, and then I'll drive the van. Once I get it, I'll drive it to Utah, or I'll drive it to Arizona, depending on which van builder I go with. Seems to me that's a lot better, more straightforward scenario is to purchase the van, have it delivered to me, and then I'll drive it to the van builder. Kind of keep those things separate. Keep the van purchase separate from the van build. What do you think? Am I being a little bit too suspicious or too wary here? Do I not want to trust my van builder? I mean, what's the deal here? I mean, I don't know. What do you think? It would certainly be easier for me to just go to the van builder and say, here, go purchase the van from the factory, have it delivered, build it out, and tell me what I owe. Give me the bottom line. But I want to be more involved in that. Part of doing this channel and coming on here and sharing with you is I want to be a part of the process. I want to go through every step of the way and show you what I'm going through. From the van purchase from the factory, to the delivery to the dealer, to the van builder, to the whole thing, to go through the process and go through the process with the van builder and let you be a part of this whole process. I mean, that's what I want to do. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do today is I'm going to send those emails out, and I will let you know if and what responses I get back from those van builders in terms of ordering the van directly from the factory myself. And I will let you know what they say. Other than that, I really don't have anything else going on other than I'm continuing to write the book on the funding guide and the workbook, working on that. I've got chapter 1 done. I'm moving on to chapter 2. I think I've got a total of 15 chapters, so it should take me probably the rest of the spring to get this thing done. Maybe by the summer I'll have it ready to publish, and we'll go from there. The whole idea of the funding guide in the book and the workbook is to help us find sustainable income while we're on the road. We want to pay for our lifestyle. I mean, I wish I was rich. I wish I was independently wealthy, and I wish I had a nice paying remote job that was paying me $100,000 a year and I didn't have to worry about expenses, but I don't. By the way, if you have a remote job, if you're working from your van or your RV full time on the road, let me know. Get into comments and let me know how it's going. Let me know how you are working your remote job, because I would love to have a remote job where I can work on the road, but it's hard finding one. That's the problem. I'm doing the best I can to look for a remote job that I can do while I'm on the road. So it's going to be a process that will take some time. But get into comments and let me know what you think. All right, looks like we're connected. We can only hope. It's raining. What a mess. I just want to go for a little walk. I would like to go for a little walk, but it's sort of a mess. Well, I don't know what to do with this microphone. I'm always concerned about good audio when I'm doing my videos, and with this DJI mic, you'll notice that it's very what you call unidirectional, which means you want your voice right in front of the mic to get the best quality, especially when you don't have the proper adapters for your iPhone like I do. You tend to lose quality as you move the mic. Let me give you an example. Now, can you hear me? What's this do to the volume level? What about now? What's this do to the volume level? Can you hear me? What about now? What about now? What about now? How's it sound down here? I've got it down here at my waist. Now I've got it up here next to my mouth. You can sort of see what I'm talking about in terms of placing the mic where you can be heard. I know it's no big deal. It's the problems of a van lifer. What can I tell you? Of a YouTuber. When you're trying to get good quality on a video, it depends on where you place the mic. When you've got these little remote mics. And then there's the problem of adjusting your camera as well. You see what I'm talking about? I know this can be distracting to have this in front of me, but if I put it over here, it's not very good. If I put it down here, it may be okay. I can adjust it in post-production, maybe add some gain to it, but the quality is just not as good as it is when you have it more in front of you up here, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So if you're watching me on these updates and you're wondering why I have this mic stuck in front of my face, then you'll know the reason. Because audio is really more important than anything else.